Welcome to another edition of the Dental Today podcast. Thank you for stopping by. This is brought to you by Lab Media TV. My name is Hezekiah Morales, and here we go. Remember to follow us on social media at Lab Media TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dental Today show. It is such a special show with another special guest. This gentleman is out of Zurich, Switzerland. He is an MDT, born out there in California, actually, but raised in Switzerland. He has over 10 years of extensive training in ceramics, dental technology, serving dentists and laboratories all over the United States of America. We are talking about our great friend, Mr. Erik Niederhauser. Erik, welcome to the show. How are you, my brother?
Well, good. How about yourself, buddy?
Fantastic as usual. And I just want to thank you because we pulled just a couple of minutes while you're still working because we've been playing phone tag here, trying to get a hold of each other and locking this down. But I want to thank you for taking the time, my man.
No problem. You know how it is, man. Always busy, right? Always trying to get some cases out.
Absolutely. The last time we spoke, I believe some people, some of the talent in your camp were unavailable. You had to jump in there and take care of a few things there. So, yeah, man.
Exactly.
Hard-working guy, man. I really admire your work, your passion for the craft and everything. And let's just get into it, my brother. So, you did mention that you were born in California, but you were raised in Switzerland. You got your MDT in Switzerland. Tell me about that experience recently also. Or let's get into that, and then we'll cut into another question I have about your move.
Okay, well, I was born in California, Davis. It's in Woodland, about 30 minutes from San Francisco. My dad at the time finished his doctor's degree, and then when I was about a year old, they brought me back to Switzerland. So I made all my schooling down there. CDT, MDT was all down there till I was about 22, 23 years old. And I was like, you know what? Switzerland is turning out to be too small. I need to check out what's on the other side of the pond. And that's when I moved at the time to Maryland with the company Biodenta. I don't know, not many people know about Biodenta anymore, but they at the time bankrupt. They had some shady stuff going on, but still, at the time, that's the company brought me over to the States, and that's how I got foot into the United States at the time.
Wow, and you did do some work in that area. We're going to fast forward a little bit because I have a few questions to ask you, and I know you're on a limited time here. A couple of weeks ago, you made a move back to California. How's that move been so far?
Well, I had the lab here then, and at the time we got so much revenue, we got so many referrals and so many clients, and I wasn't able to handle it myself anymore. Plus, at the area where I was located, there was no dental techs available, just doctors. So I had to look for a good partner that wanted to merge, and at the time, Imagine came on board and was like, you know what, we can merge up, we can make a solid come together, and you would have to move to California. And I was like, hey, fuck yeah, man, let's move to California. Let's do it. And now since 10 days, I'm out here, and it's been a blessing. We have a lot of work still. I'm teaching the team, trying to get all my equipment sent down here. We're getting it situated. I have right now all my furnaces down here. There's still some machines we have to send over, but hey, we're getting it done, man. It's a work in progress, right? But yeah, I'm in Cali now.
And you're lighting it up.
Well, I hope so. So far, it's like getting into the ropes, but we're getting there.
No, absolutely. And I heard that you also lit it up out there in Chicago, Lab Day. How was your experience out there?
Well, it was good. It was like I had some classes before, lectures a bit, but it's the first time that I was lecturing for Imagine on all-on-fours about porcelain stacking for the pink session. It was more about me giving a contradiction to what Mio is putting out there with their full Broxier zirconia, where they just stain and glaze it. I know for a fact you need a couple fires to get it there, which on my end, I have it refined to a technique that I make one pink fire, and then with the glazing, I make the correction fire, and it's done. So I basically have my all-on-fours done with 2 to 3 fires, which like with the stain and glaze from Mio, you also need 2 to 3 fires or 4, which I'm like, you know what? When it comes to aesthetics, I stick with my porcelain, with what I know. I tried the Mio kit up. They sent it to me. I tried it out a couple times. I went to the Ornoy portals, but I use it, but just to enhance my porcelain.
I see. So you do all-on-fours work, you do orthodontics, you do implant work, all that. Now, there was a conversation between you and I regarding your opinion on all fours for the patient. Can you elaborate on that? All fours, or what is your suggestion?
Well, you know, when it comes to all-on-fours, man, you see a lot of, when you follow me on Instagram, you see a lot of those all-on-fours in zirconia, and most of them come from other labs that just finish with the pink porcelain, right, and the staining glaze it, cement them, and send it back out there. It's their deal. But if it comes to me, if I would recommend an all-on-four zirconia to my grandmother, I would feel bad about it, just because I know the feel to the regular dentition is not as it should be. As I know, you're gonna think like you're biting on a glass plate every time you choose something. It's static, it has no give whatsoever. Anything hard breaking on it, as hard as zirconia may be, it can still fracture on you. So if I would recommend something to my family, I would probably go with the Pectin frame. Probably will get Lisi crowns on top, or Emax, or Ember, whatsoever you have out there with lithium, the silicates, but definitely not a zirconia arch. Now they look nice, definitely all the way out there too, but I wouldn't recommend it to my mom or my grandmother.
Very interesting point of view.
Now, for myself, if I would something for myself, I'll probably go with the hybrid denture. Just because I know it would be more comfortable for me to chew around on. I could probably make it just aesthetically pleasing as well. I could characterize it with NX-Dent or GC Grody at the time. It's all in the possibility range. But again, those kind of cases tend to be very pricey, and people trying to get the lower price in for good quality. So it's always like a give or take. What do you want to go for, right?
Very interesting. Very, very interesting point of view. Now, I see you have a very particular brush. What brush do you have up there?
I use the MPF brush. So, you know, I have my folks going out to Germany for the show.
Yeah.
And they brought me back the special edition anniversary, 20 years anniversary brush from MPF brush. That's like my favorite one. I have like the one from Andrew Young here. I have pretty much all of them. But 20-year anniversary works the best for me, man. I fucking love this brushes, dude. This shit is so dope. I've been working with the Renford one with the Kolinsky brushes, and they've been working for me over the last like 10 years. And then just about a half a year ago, I think it was with you, where you like, you know, try those brushes out, give it a shot, and I gave an order in. Everything it's work with them, dude. Boy, unreal. I love the tips and everything. I mean, like for the pink stacking, it's not a big deal because you don't have to get this refined detail when you go to stack the mamelons and all that. But if you go for dentition, shit, fuck yeah, that shit is dope, dude. Like straight up fire, dude. Straight up fire. I would love to be out there and get to know the owner a little bit better, so he could send me some sample brushes if he has some. But it's a hard way to get a hold of that guy.
Uncle George Paps.
Yeah, this guy, man, big shot. I love all this stuff, dude. Brushes. I just, you know, I make the stippling on my pink. A lot of people disagree because they say, like, you know, it holds a lot of bacteria when it's in the patient mouth. It attacks a lot of tartar and it sticks in there. The problem people don't realize, when I make the stippling, I do a glaze over it and I polish it out. There's never anything stuck in there at all. But I just saw that they actually came out with a stippling brush. I still think the one that I jerry-rigged is better. I hold pride in that brush, man. I hold pride in that stippling brush.
My man. So you partnered up, and let me go back to this year. You partnered up to be able to manage Hero Dent and its growth.
Yes.
So you are still as a partner there, right? You're still doing work. You're still providing your services to doctors and ultimately to patients.
Exactly,
yes. The goal is to improve the life of the patient in the end. But let me go into this point here. Are you currently teaching? Are you currently traveling and sharing the knowledge that you've acquired over the years?
Well, we do in-house trainings. We have every once in a while, I have some customer reaching out to me over Instagram. They want to learn, and I actively teach online, and I send them messages, pictures, and guidance. And I have 4 or 5 students from all over the world who sends me feedbacks, and I try to get them there. We always, unless you really want to learn, you gotta have the hands-on. So we have in-house training where we get clients in. Usually it's already clients that we know who just want the experience. We don't really charge much at this point, or we don't charge anything. It's just like me free will teaching because I like doing it. But no, actively traveling right now, unless I do it for Imagine, the company I just merged in, no.
Okay, so your work is keeping you busy enough, because am I right?
Yes, exactly, yes. Dude,
okay.
I have if I could stack every day 3 to 4 all-in-fours. I have all-in-fours lined up till 3 months from now.
Wow.
So if you want an all-in-four through me to Imagine, you probably almost have to have a scheduling booked with me, so I have time to stack it and get it there. If it's a Broxir one, just pink, I usually get it faster out. If you want to have 6 to 11 stacked as well, it takes longer. I mean, sometimes up to a month to get it back, just because I don't have time to get to it. Right. I do work weekends as well, and I do work about till 11 o'clock at night every day. It's okay because I love what I do, but end of the day, it's all time sensitive. If they ask me to go to Chicago, to Germany, I have to say I can't. I'm so bucked up with cases. If I take 4 days off, I'm backed up 4 days even more, which I can't get there.
And it compounds, of course. It's not that simple. It's not 4 days. It compounds.
Yeah, and when you look about back in the days, right, when I first started on the job, it was a pride thing to learn this stuff. Nowadays, the new community, they don't want to sit down and learn this. They don't want to take the extra time to get into it and learn the passion, and then in the beginning get paid almost peanuts. Because as you know, as a dental tech, you work for a lab, it's very competitive. People get paid almost nothing to literally barely be able to afford a rent. How can you want somebody with technicians to go the extra mile when you barely pay them something? When you can barely pay them something because the pricing and the competition of the labs is so steep nowadays, right? Right. So it's hard to find that individual who wants to come in the lab, sit down, learn the technique, and then once he learns it, not jump away and does his own lab. It's happy medium, right? So right now we are looking for people to join the team, especially my area, to sit with me, because from the lab area, it's only me. I have technicians from the milling center area, which polish bars, polish abutments, they do the milling, the zirconias, the sintering, getting it all pre-sintered done. But then when it's done, it still comes to me and I finish everything. I have some technicians who do make stain and glaze for certain cases, but anything porcelain related comes on my bench and it stays on my bench till I touch it up. So right now we are looking actively for people to join the team that I can personally hand-on train and get onto my team to be like my right-hand man. But again, it's been a struggle to find that certain person.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a disciplined dental technician with an open mind to learn and work your butt off,
basically,
we are going to give you Erik's tag for you to shout out.
That's basically it. You gotta have to put your dues in. I didn't get to where I was by working from 8 to 5.
Or by watching YouTube videos.
I gotta say that social media jumped up the game so much. Before, technicians weren't to be able to collaborate and see each other's work. Now, where people can see what's out there, what's possible. I mean, even I learned every day. I go on social media, see something like that. I take a picture. I try to contact the guy. I try to get some information. I research the stuff and put it into my techniques. It's all about seeing what other people do and try to finesse it with your own skill. And that's where you go there. And that's the beauty of social media. Literally, you see stuff that you never will be able to see. You don't know what he did. You had to literally go and take a class. You had to sign up for a class and know a guy that's good. You had to see it in a magazine or something, or had to meet him at the show to know that's good. Now, with social media, you can check who is good beforehand already. And that's the beauty of it.
It's interesting that you're saying this. I had a conversation with Elvin Santos from Dominican Republic. And I asked him the question, Elvin, what took your work to evolve, or what caused the explosion? And he told me this: technology, the ability to look at other people's work and to put my work out there so that other people can critique my work and make me better.
Exactly. And then they'll be like, have you ever tried this? And I'll be like, you know what? Fuck, I haven't. Let's try it. And then that's how we evolve as a technician. I mean, there's no other way. You have to put your dues in. You have to work hard hours to get there. It's all about practice. And once you're there, people be like, how did you get there? And I tell you, it's hard work and sweat. That's really all it takes. There's some skilled people who are just born with it. But then for most of the other ones, it has a little skill set, and the rest is all trained on. Be able to sit there, Yeah, muscle memory, dude. And look, I'm stacking here a full arch, and I talk with you looking at the screen. I mean, it doesn't really, I don't have to look what I do. It just happens most of the time. So that's a good thing.
It's there now. It's flowing. It's part of what you do. It's part of who you are. So,
heck yeah.
If our followers, if our listeners want to go see you, do you have anything planned? I know you're all booked up, but do you have anything planned in the near future where you're going to be displaying?
Yes, we're going to have classes scheduled from August on for me, once I'm catched up with all the work here and all the team is trained. But coming August, after my birthday, we're going to schedule at least every month a weekend training where we're going to have in-house training on porcelain stacking and pre-contouring on all-in-4s. What else? Most likely cementation of all-in-4s too for tie bases. That's something that's a lot of people don't look into it. But if you go on social media and you see how they're cemented in, they have openings, they're dirty. I mean, like that's where the patient's gonna have the infection. That's the patient's gonna lose his tissue. It's gonna atrophy and inflammation, and then the implants fail, and then the whole arch, doesn't matter how nice it is, it's gonna fail. So I have like a nice static arch. Knowing how to cement and have a good cementation protocol is key for a successful case. You know.
So after August, you're going to be working with the Imagine team once a month, and this is going to that's fantastic. That is fantastic. So let me go to this. Where can our followers sign up or be part of what you and Imagine are doing?
Well, as of right now, I will post those things on my Instagram and my Facebook, which is straight under my name. Imagine USA will most likely also put it on their website once it gets up and reach out to all existing customers. But again, they're growing field too. You know, they're big exploding over here once they merged with DUF at the time. So that's probably the best way to reach and find out about those classes is through the Imagine USA website.
The Imagine USA website?
Yes.
Perfect. And all the information is going to be in terms of when you're going to be available, correct?
Exactly. It's all the classes are held by me and done by me, and all follow-ups that you want to do. Most people that come in the classes, they get my personal cell phone number. They can reach me if there's anything going on, and I can shoot the trouble with them right there and then. Sometimes it takes a second to explain something, and they can go on while trying to figure out something and get stuck with one problem. It's just not the key to work, right?
That's fantastic. So your tag on Instagram is at Erik Niederhauser. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Erik Niederhauser.
Niederhauser. Gotcha.
Yeah, dude, it's German. It's a long name, man. I don't blame you, dude. The Erik Niederhauser shit. It's like it's as German as it goes. Even though I'm German, I'm Swiss. It's still German, you know.
Absolutely.
And it's long, dude. It's long. You should have seen me the first week in the States trying to explain to FedEx guy my name. It's like, can you spell it? Like, fuck, man, Jesus Christ, really? It's a hard one, but yeah.
No,
that's where you find me.
That's great. Erik, I know you're on a crunch. We really appreciate the time that you've taken. Hopefully we can sit down and go into a little more depth on other topics. But again, thank you for being with us, my brother.
Fuck yeah, man. I see you around, okay?
All right, my brother. Take care, all the listeners. This is Mr. Erik Niederhauser. Did I say it right this time?
Almost. Erik Niederhauser.
Man.
Here we go. Boom. Boom right there.
Niederhauser is lighting up California. All right, folks. We will catch you soon. Take care.